another part of this journey. It's not like when I say everything is happening in real time and everything is a stream, like I don't think, I just have a stream of consciousness. So after I recorded, I came downstairs to have lunch and I was reading a book that was referred to me right before I left New York. I forgot how much I love The Prince. I read it for the first time in college. That's when I was introduced to philosophy and Machiavelli and Nietzsche. Became two of my favorite philosophers, among others, but Genealogy of Morals and The Prince really stick out to me. Anyway, so I come downstairs and I have my lunch because after I'm trying to see how to put it in words, you exert a lot of energy, but a different type of energy when you're operating in this pure state of consciousness, right? I had stopped eating meat for definitely 10 years, but I think it was like around 11 years. When I first went to Japan, I'll never forget, I woke up and I was like, what am I gonna eat today? And God literally was like, go have a Wagyu burger. And I was like, dead ass? Because I'm like, you told me to stop eating meat. He's like, go have your burger. And I realized the reason why, and it connected when someone else explained the amount of energy that you process in a conscious state of being is similar to how your metabolism was when you were like a teenager or when you were younger. Because now when I tell you I be ravenous, like sis be ravenous. I be like, yo, I remember one morning I woke up and I wanted a bowl of pasta, a burger, and I still was like, yo, you got more to eat? I was like, I wonder if this is how it feels when women are pregnant, like when you have craving. But it wasn't a craving, it was just like I needed something of substance to be in my body. And so, you know, like bodybuilders, they eat pasta, but it also burns quickly. Anyway, so I came downstairs to have my lunch. I had a burger and fries. And God was just like, once again, downloading all this information, which attaches to what I said earlier about when you're in flow and you're doing what God asks, you're being obedient, like he's gonna just keep giving you more information. So I was like, all right, let me go back upstairs and get my camera so that I can record. So let me back up a bit. My dream this morning, coming out of my dream, the word that God dropped in my head, in my thoughts, was forgiveness. I was like, okay. And I had a friend who had showed up 2 times in my dreams. Well, she was in my dreams yesterday, and then she was in my dreams this morning. And so I was like, you know what, let me reach out to her, and because I felt like that's where God was telling me I needed to extend forgiveness on how I behaved, how I was in that moment of our friendship. And so I reached out, and being the beautiful sis that she's always been to me, she was like, yeah, you know what you did really hurt my feelings, and I knew you were dealing with so much, because like, it's so interesting because the night that my mom passed, I'll never forget, it was the next day or whenever she found out, she was like, I can't remember what she called it, but she was doing like a meditation. She was like, I think your mom passed me. Like, I think I saw your mom. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I was super excited because I'm like, yo, that's dope. And my mom just transitioned, and then she like passed you on the way wherever she was going while you was meditating. That's dope to me, you know? And so there was no coincidence with the dreams being back to back and then forgiveness being something that I needed to do. And what's interesting is at the end of the dream, it was I asked her, I was like, now can you send my husband forward? Or it was something of like, all right, now can my husband come in? And so I shared that with her as well. And it was just so beautiful how, once again, communication is nothing, right? So if we're gonna equate communications like God, where God is no higher, like you have to communicate. Like that is something that we all have to grow up and be able to communicate and be able to accept when we have been not so friendly, or how we have hurt someone else's feelings. Now her feelings are not facts, right? Like the feelings are something that she needs to heal and she needs to understand on her own. But I also need to accept the fact that I triggered her, and being the friend that I am apologetic to having been the one to ignite it. But as I said in my first video, those are gifts from God, right? To shed light on areas that we may have not seen before. And by no means was it intentional what happened between her and I. And it is the space, right? She said, no, I understand everything you just went through. And so essentially I held space for you because I knew once you were in a better space mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that I would circle the block, which I did. And I'm so thankful that I did. And I'm so thankful that I did through the nudge of God and my mom being like, apologize, you know? It's always nice to apologize if you've hurt someone's feelings. Like I said, you don't have to take on their feelings as if it's something you need to now fix. That's not for me to fix, but me owning what I did is absolutely my share. And once again, I want to ground these moments because, like I said, it was a dream that I had this morning, and it prompted me to do something in the 3D that heals two people, right? Of course, there's still things like, she's like, we'll sit down, we'll chat when we are in each other's space. But what really, really I want to share is the space that we hold for one another, right? The space that we hold for others to show up, and also for another to do the work. Because those two things go hand in hand, right? They go hand in hand. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful exchange. Yeah. We really miss those opportunities. And it's with growth that I'm able to say, nah, I fucked up, sis. Like, that was me. I accept it, right? Like, the last time we spoke was in November, and I was supposed to reach back out, and I didn't. So I had to own that. Like, yo, my bad. Like, that's completely me. That's not you. And, you know, no matter how she would have responded, no matter how she chose to receive what I offered, that part also isn't my responsibility. It is just, I needed to make sure that she knows that I recognize that I fucked up, right? So yeah, and like I said, I want to share in real time to just ground these experiences, because often we skate past it, or we don't have any tangible, not really tangible, any real-time examples of what it looks like to hold space for someone, or what it looks like in real life to have to step up and own what you did, right? And it's only through the growth. It is only through the grace of God. It is only through the the power that I received through Christ consciousness, right? And that's something I'm gonna say a lot, because that's the shift that we're moving into, right? Like, that's where we're heading, where consciousness is something that needs to be elevated. And it's not about a revolution, it's about an evolution where we're evolving. And I was saying this to who was I saying this to? I think I was saying this to my bro on the flight, who I just met on my way when I was coming to Houston, that fight or flight mode, I won't say money, everyone gets it wrong. They think it's either you're gonna stay and fight or you're gonna run, and that's not it. Fight mode is animalistic, right? It's your lower chakra, it's your survival mode, it's the base. It is in what's my guy's name? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's that base block, right, of the pyramid. Like, you cannot move out of that survival nature, and that's what causes you to fight. Flight mode is when you rise, it's when you elevate, it's when your consciousness is growing, right? And so you're able to take flight in your mind, where you're able to discern, you're able to decide, you're able to really be grounded in a space where I don't have to fight. I know there's another option, and I'm able to communicate that, right? With love, with truth, with honesty, right? Because I didn't want to project or deflect what happened. I had to own what I did in that particular part of the relationship, right? In that particular part of the friendship, I had to own where I fucked up. And that is what consciousness, that's what evolution, that's what maturity, that's what growing up looks like in real life, you know? And I'm 40 joints in, and I'm still growing up. I'm still learning. There's just so much space for us to be a student again. And I'm so thankful, because that's what keeps us young, right? That's the whole point of, what did God say? Heaven is like being, I don't know that specific scripture, but heaven is like being a child, right? And so when you heal those inner child wounds, when your inner child is able to no longer feel fearful, no longer remain in survival mode, they're able to meet you at your heart center, and you're able to be a full human. You're able to be fully present, fully aware, like fully in the moment. And so yeah, that was really dope. That was really cool. So I wanted to share that. Is there anything else? It was something else about alchemical knowledge, but it's not on my biscuit right now, so I guess I'll save that for later. And in a day, you may get, fucking with me, like 7 videos, but once again, it's a flow, right? Like, if God says speak, I'm gonna speak, and I'm gonna record it, and then I'm gonna share it, and I'm gonna do my best for it not to be 52 minutes again, because it took forever to upload. I don't know if it takes that long for all videos, no matter how long the length, but I'm gonna do my best to keep it short, to keep it brief, to keep it sweet, to keep it funky, and keep it direct. So I'm just gonna think real quick if there's anything else I want to say. I don't think there is. Well, I will say it is no coincidence that my sis is an earth sign, and Aries, which is a fire sign, is in the north node, which is burning any weeds, like burning anything that is holding you back. And so if you feel like that's what's happening, don't run from it, lean into it, because it's only about growth, and God is putting you in a position to grow up.